Hello there, people of the internet. I got me a gun broker find right here that I decided to go ahead and show off inside of a video, because I may as well. Actually, I like the way that the strap was holding that up so you guys could see that on camera a little bit better. I think I ruined that. Anyway, this right here is Old Sketchy, and this right here is a Utreon mauser that I have two barreled receivers for. I have a 308, well, 7.62 set me technically, but it handles 7.62 NATO just fine. I got a 7.62 NATO barrel, and I have a original 7mm Mauser barrel for the rifle. Now this right here is the original 1891 pattern. We can tell that from the style of the sight, both front and rear. The issue with Old Sketchy is that, well, for one, the stock is very cracked up and destroyed, and I don't necessarily trust this rifle all that much, which is why I call her Old Sketchy. And the inside, the magazine has been blocked for 308, or 7.62 set me, I guess, which is identical in terms of dimensions to 308 or 7.62 NATO. And so because of that block there, I can't stick any 7mm Mauser inside of this rifle whenever I have this set up to fire 7mm Mauser. So this right here is a single shot rifle since I can't use the magazine. As a result of that, I do have, come on, Old Sketchy, don't disagree with me. I do have this right here, which is a cartridge retainer where I stick 7mm Mauser inside of this thing since I can't have it inside of the magazine. So I can just load from this into Old Sketchy there. But this is my only 7mm Mauser rifle, or it was. I really like 7mm Mauser. I fired plenty of them on the channel. I've, played with several 7mm Mauser rifles, but this one right here is the only one that I actually own. Well, I decided to go out and browse Gun Broker and see if I could find myself another one. And I found myself this sporterized Spanish Mauser. This right here is a 1909 pattern. We'll take a look at some of the things, some of the differences between the two rifles. But this right here is also chambered in 7mm Mauser. And this one right here has obviously been sporterized. It does not have the full length wood, but that's not exactly a what would you call it? A turning point, a breaking point for me, because I wanted to get myself something specifically to shoot 7mm Mauser. I was not looking for any kind of historical provenance behind the rifle. But this right here does have the updated sight, which I think was done in 1909, if memory serves me correctly. Minimum zero of 300 meters. I think that's meters. And we also have the wings on the front post as well, which I think is also an update to the rifle. So the original 1893 pattern, there's our original 1893 pattern on Old Sketchy here, and this right here is the updated leaf sight version. For the 1893 pattern, the sight actually, whenever you want to go out to longer distances, the sight actually lifts up like this, and you use your leaf on the sight to aim at those distances like that. That's not exactly the most durable sighting system that there is, which is why the leaf sight was the update. And this right here kind of just zooms in and out with a sight bar graduation. So besides that, this right here is still an 1893 system, which is to be expected. And this right here, I cannot Fabrica de Arms Oviedo. I think I'm saying that somewhat correctly. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that, but it is date stamped 1909, which would line up with my assumption for the updates to this rifle being in 1909. I think it was 1909. Might have been 1916 whenever they updated those sights, but I could be wrong about that one as well. I do think that there is an updated system for the 1916, but I do not know if it is the same as the 1909 rifle. I would have more information were this rifle not sporterized. There's just things that I cannot tell about it. But this right here is chambered in 7mm Mauser, which is exactly what I was looking for. So now I got myself a fully functional 7mm that I do not have to worry about magazine issues for. This right here should hold the full 5 shots of a 7mm Mauser, so I can cycle through those without having to single load the rifle. I like the stock on this one a lot better. It's not cracked up and broken up or anything like that. It does look like we have to seat our action a little bit better inside of this rifle, which should not be a problem at all. The firearm itself is fully functional. Whenever I close this bolt here, although it is a little on the sticky side. Our trigger, or no, not the trigger, our sear, our firing pin, whatever it is that you would want to call that, does in fact lock back inside of the bolt. And then pull the trigger back to about right there. We got ourselves a wall, and I don't know, 5 pounds of pressure or so sends that flying forward. We got ourselves plenty of pressure in that old spring still. Let's see if our safety on this old girl works. Yep, safety flips over just fine. That disconnects, and I believe that right there is our, what would you call it, our disassembly area. So there we go. I got myself a fully functional 1893 7mm Mauser. This one right here does have the updated sights on it. I was thinking about taking the barreled action off of Old Sketchy here and throwing the original 1893 pattern onto this sporterized stock with this this proper magazine inside of it, so I can actually load rounds into Old Sketchy. But I don't think that I'm going to do that, because the rifling inside of this barrel is absolutely phenomenal, whereas Old Sketchy has a lot of pitting and wear on it. Whenever I got this barreled receiver, I got it for basically nothing. But she does not keyhole, and she does shoot well enough for my capabilities, so I'm not all that concerned about that. I just do like the 1893 pattern better than the updated leaf sight pattern, like what we see here. Not only that, but this right here is not finished on the rifle. This is actually just paint. So I don't know how well that's going to hold up with what I'm wanting to use the rifle for. We'll have to see on that one. So besides that, I don't think I have anything else to add. I just wanted to make this quick-ish video talking about the rifle and showing it off. This right here was, like I said, a gun broker find. It looks like Old Sketchy is a little bit longer than this updated version as well. I do not believe that the barrels on these were cut, but I could be wrong about that. I'll have to compare this to a known 1916 pattern that I have that has not been sporterized. I'll see if this one right here is a shorter or longer barrel than that. Even if it's shorter, that's still not that big of a deal, because if I were swapping stocks, they're both sporterized, so neither of them is going to go the full length of the barrel. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I do appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go check it out. I'm going to go ahead and load up some 7mm Mauser brass for this right here and do some accuracy testing in a later video. So if you want to be around for that, go ahead and, well, be around for that. And I will see you guys on the next video, I suppose. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett. Shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.